Hello, this is your captain speaking. Today we're going to be flying into Hiroshima. And as you can see, Hiroshima itself is in a beautifully protected bay, and it's on the western end of Honshu Island, which is the main island in Japan. We're getting ready for takeoff. We'll be flying today in a Cessna 172. The airport we're flying out of is Iwakuni Airport, which is just to the west of Hiroshima, and it's part of a fairly, a small city that's, if you will, just west. Now you can, in a second or so, you'll see the city. Like so many other cities, especially the coastal cities, they're nestled in front of small foothills or in some cases larger mountains. One of the interesting features of Hiroshima Bay is that instead of it being wide open and clear, it has a series of small islands. We're passing one now on the right, and the island on the left is called Itsukushima Island. And that's kind of like, it runs the length and it points right toward Hiroshima. We're going to fly by that island in a minute or so, so you'll get a little view of it. It's heavily treed, and it has a very tiny population. As you can also see on the left, there's more population associated with heading toward Hiroshima. Now, Hiroshima itself has a population of maybe 1.2 million people, and it's in a fairly well-populated prefecture, which has about 2.8 million people. Hiroshima, of course, is the largest city.
Squawk Tree 005, Cessna 182. Cessna 182, radar contact, 6 miles northeast of Iwakuni, 800 feet. Altimeter 29.902. Roger, Cessna 182.
Hiroshima itself is the 10th largest city in Japan, and we'll visit a number of cities that are larger. First Tokyo and Yokohama, then Osaka, Nagoya, Kobe, and Kyoto. Anyway, we can now see Itsukushima Island pretty clearly. You can see how treed it is. And as I said, that kind of points the way to Hiroshima itself. Now, we're not going to fly all the way to Hiroshima. We're after the end of this little island, we'll kind of skip ahead so we get into the city. Um, if you want to talk about Hiroshima's history, it was a small fishing village that um, I don't know if it had an actual founding date, but it certainly became fairly well known in Japan somewhere around the 12th century. And from the 8th century to the 12th century, it was under control of the Taira clan. Now, if we're going to skip ahead in the history, when the Tokugawa clan became the main shogun, and if you will, ruled all of the other shoguns, there was an Asano clan that was appointed to head the Hiroshima area. And then in the Tokugawa period ran from like around early 1600s to 1868 with the Meiji Restoration. After that happened, Hiroshima became a major industrial city and also had shipping. And then as it evolved, it became a military center. That, of course, led to World War I and World War II and the dropping of the atomic bomb. Now we're headed down one of the canals, and as you'll see, Hiroshima is linked by canals. The Peace Center is just coming up. Microsoft Flight Simulator does not do a good job of illustrating specialty facilities like the Peace Center. You'll just see it as an open space with a building, but of course it looks quite different when you'll be there. The Peace Center itself is right where these two canals intersect, and you can see it right now. This is what the Peace Center actually looks like. And at one end there's a little memorial, and the other end there's a dome that survived the atomic bombing. And here's what the dome looks like. Of course, we'll pretty much all see this when we get to Hiroshima. We're going to continue the flight now. I'll just let you take a look at some of the city as you fly around it. And again, if you look, you can see these canals that kind of run through the entire city.
Cessna 182, contact Tokyo Center on 132.5. Good day.
Going to 132.5, Cessna 182. Tokyo Center, Cessna, Charlie Alpha, Zulu 182, 400 feet.
Cessna Charlie Alpha Zulu 182, Tokyo Center altimeter 29.902, radar contact continue. Cessna 182, contact Iwakuni approach on 131.4. Good day.
131.4, Cessna 182. Goodbye. Iwakuni approach Cessna, Charlie Alpha, Zulu 182, 300 feet.
Cessna Charlie Alpha Zulu 182, Iwakuni approach altimeter 29.902, radar contact continue.
as you can see, of course, it's one of the larger cities in Japan, and like so many of the cities that are on the sea, it's surrounded by a ring of small foothills and mountains. Anyway, rather than fly back all the way over the bay and land again, we're going to end the flight here in a few seconds. I'd like to thank you for flying Air Kaz, and have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the flight.